from Cleveland Browns Stadium. Indianapolis meets Cleveland for the first time since 1999. Hi, everybody. I'm Gus Johnson, along with my partner Brent Jones, for the Colts and the Browns. In order to keep their postseason hopes alive, this is a must-win situation, almost making this like a playoff game. And for Cleveland, a rookie has to lead.
Yes, William Green's been a big part of the success of the Browns here the second half of the season. He's going to have a big day running the ball in this one. On the other side of the ball, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, they need to hook up with some big pass plays. Edgerrin James has been slowed a little bit by that high ankle sprain.
They're revving it up in the dog pound. Coming up, Cleveland, Indianapolis next. Football League on CBS. Week 15 features the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. And the standings in the AFC North, Cleveland only a half game behind the Pittsburgh Steelers for the automatic bid. And in the AFC South, Indianapolis trails Tennessee by way of the tiebreaker. Peyton Manning and the Colts invade Cleveland, looking to get back to their winning ways after losing to Tennessee last week, while the Browns know that a win today puts even more pressure on the Steelers for the top spot in the North. A playoff atmosphere in Cleveland. Cleveland 40 degrees and cloudy. Cleveland has won the toss and have elected to receive the football. Tony Dungy and the Indianapolis Colts coming off that 27-17 loss last week at Tennessee. And on the other sideline, Butch Davis's Browns, a dramatic win last week, 21-20 over Jacksonville. So Cleveland leads this series 13-8. The Colts have won 3 of the last 4 meetings, most recently December 26th of 1999 when Indy defeated the Browns 29-28 on a Mike Vanderjagt 21-yard field goal. So Andre Davis is back deep. Browns and the Colts. And we're underway from Cleveland. That one squeaking through and picked up at the 16-yard line by Andre Davis, and Davis gets up to the 20, make it the 22. So Tim Couch threw 2 touchdowns at 2 interceptions last week versus Jacksonville and brought to throwing for 264 yards. Here's a look at his offensive line. Verba, Stokes, Willaba, O'Hara, and Tucker protect him. The backs and receivers, William Green playing great ball lately, had 100 yards last week. Quincy Morgan 100 yards receiving, including the game-winning touchdown last week versus the Jaguars. First down and 10 at the 22-yard line. For the Browns, here's Couch passing on first down, goes up top. It's caught. Morgan down the sideline, still running. Morgan needs one block. Morgan, touchdown Cleveland. The Cleveland Browns strike quickly. Quincy Morgan with a 78-yard touchdown reception from Tim Couch on the first play of the game. And the extra point is flubbed. The ball is loose and recovered by the Colts. Walt Harris picking it up, but Quincy Morgan, the 7th touchdown of at least 20 yards this season, the most in the National Football League. The Browns lead it 6-0. His 49th catch of the season, and oh, what a big play. 78 yards as the Browns take a 6-0 lead. Tim Couch putting that ball in a perfect place.
And you hear that cliche all the time about big players making big plays in big games. Quincy Morgan's been a big player for this Browns team this year.
Browns send it away. Troy Walters starts from the 14. And Walters gets up to the 25 where he's dropped after an 11-yard return. Lewis Sanders with the tackle.
Now Quincy Morgan right here coming in motion, bottom of your screen. He's going to run a little out and up route. But watch the move he puts on the safety after he grabs the ball. Right here. Bang. Watch this. Freeze Doring, the safety, go right down the sideline. Usually when a safety has an angle, and you see Kevin Johnson making the big block down the field, when the safety has an angle like that and the sideline right there, you don't usually see a guy get by him.
So the Colts take over first down at their own 26. Edgerrin James breaking free. James gets up to the 35. It's a gain of 9, and Peyton Manning, uncharacteristically, threw 3 interceptions last week in their loss to Tennessee. That's the 10th time in his career he's done so. The line protecting him, Glenn DeMulling, Saturday Demon Meadows. The backs and receivers, Edgerrin James is playing with the tender ankle. Marvin Harrison trying to get into the record books with a big game today. We'll tell you about that in a moment. 2nd and 1 at the 35. Here's Edgerrin James skipping forward. And defensively for the Cleveland Browns, let's take a look. Kennard Lang on the outside, a great pass rusher. Warren and Roy in the middle, and Rogers is the other defensive end. Courtney Brown out because of a knee injury. The linebackers, Earl Holmes leads them in the middle, a former Steeler, Rudd and Hambrick. And in the secondary, Corey Fuller, big day for him. He's going to go one-on-one with Marvin Harrison. Here's Manning over the middle. It's caught by Harrison. Finding a soft spot in the zone, gets to the 45. Holmes with the tackle, a gain of 7. And Marvin Harrison needs now 5 receptions to break Herman Moore's single-season record of 123 set with the Lions in 1995.
And we've said all year long, Marvin Harrison's the best wide receiver in the National Football League. And you saw him bounce up from that hit by Earl Holmes. He's fired up about this game. He knows what it means to this Colts team.
So the countdown has begun. 2nd down and 3 for the Colts at the 45. James running. And Edgerrin James gets up to the 47.
You see Robert Griffith, Gus, right there and on the tackle, came blitzing from the outside safety position. This Browns defense has blitzed a little bit more these last few weeks. They might think coming into this game they need to get some more pressure on Peyton Manning. And they haven't been able to do it that much with their defensive front this year. Look for more safeties and linebackers on the blitz.
The Colts offense ranked 11th in the league, 4th in passing, 27th in rushing. 3rd down and 1 at the 47. And they hand it off to James Mungro, and he goes backwards. The Browns defense jumping on him immediately.
And Darren Hambrick just standing up Mungro. That is a textbook tackle. You don't see guys hit and wrap and get low and use their leverage as much in this league anymore. You see a lot more arm tackles. Look at that. Get low, bend your knees, and drive. Darren Hambrick, bigger than James Mungro, and just standing him up, half yard short of that first down.
So the Colts come up empty on their first offensive series. Andre Davis is back deep for the injured Dennis Northcutt, who's out because of a knee injury. Didn't play last week versus Jacksonville. Northcutt and Davis with the fair catch signal at the 15, a 38-yard punt. Quincy Morgan has been the man early. Come back to Cleveland Browns Stadium. The Browns lead the Colts 6-0 on the 78-yard Quincy Morgan touchdown from that man, Tim Couch. Browns have it at their own 15, 1st down and 10. Here's William Green over the right side, and the rookie out of Boston College, the 16th overall pick, goes down at about the line of scrimmage. But let's go back to last week. In Jacksonville, another heart stopper for the Browns. On the game's final play, Tim Couch finds Quincy Morgan on this 50-yard Hail Mary. The touchdown tied the game, and Phil Dawson's extra point provided the winning margin, 21-20, to put even more pressure on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
So Quincy Morgan, the last 2 times he touched the ball, touchdown.
Touchdown.
Huge plays.
Morgan, last week, 3 catches, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Play action, Couch setting up over the middle, and this is Green breaking down the sidelines, stiff arming. William Green out of bounds after a gain of 16. defensively for Indianapolis. They allowed Steve McNair to complete 18 of 23 passes, including 14 in a row. Bratsky moves to the inside for today's game. Mike Peterson had 18 tackles last week against Tennessee. Morris in Washington. And in the secondary, Walt Harris and David Macklin are on the corners with Doring and Gibson at safety. First down and 10 at the 33. Empty backfield for Couch. Short drop, Couch to the sideline. Incomplete. Steve Hyden, the intended receiver. Closing on him quickly, Mike Peterson.
And Tim Couch told us they were going to come out throwing the ball. And, of course, we talked at the top of the show about William Green needing to run the ball. You see them going with the empty backfield right there. When you go empty, you've got to get rid of that ball on that third step because somebody's coming unblocked. That's exactly what Tim Couch did. But he said, hey, we're going to be aggressive early in the game. We're going to go after this Colts defense. And the Colts secondary has been a big part of their success this year.
Second down and 10 at the 33. Here's Green with a huge opening. William Green up to the 41. Nicely done. Larry Triplett with the tackle, but it's after a gain of 8.
Boy, and how about William Green and him just coming into his own. You're going to see him hit that hole, and he does a great job of setting up his blocks, just pausing just 1 second. You see the big block there by Steve Hyden opening up that hole for William Green. That's been the difference. He is so quick. He was hitting the hole so fast this first half of the season that the blocks hadn't formed yet, and he was just running into his own man. He's allowing those blocks to form now just a split second, and there's some great holes, and this young man is really tearing up the league.
Third down and 2. Here's Green again looking for the first down, and I don't think he has it. It will be close.
Boy, because one of the things that he's done well is move that pile. You know he's quick, but he's got some great leg strength, and I know the Browns are signaling first down. I still think that they're a ball short.
William Green talking about that leg strength and some of the things he's done. Over the last 4 games, he's rushed for 423 yards, including 2 100-yard games. Most recently, last week at Jacksonville, when he rushed for 119. And they have it by the nose of the football. The young man from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and take a look at the last 4 games for him. Averaging 4 yards per carry as opposed to the first 9, in which he was basically trying to figure things out. He came into camp late because of a contract problem, and now he's really starting to hit his stride. First down and 10 at the 43. Green again, breaks it back, makes the first man miss, the sign of a great runner, and gets close to midfield, gain of 4.
And it's funny because we've talked all year long about confidence. And you think, oh, you're playing in the National Football League, you don't need to have confidence. But it's a huge part of every successful player's game. And you've seen William Green develop that confidence. And not only William Green, but how about this offensive line for the Cleveland Browns? Much maligned early in the season, but they've really generated some confidence. And they know that they can be successful now. And that just gives you the strength to go out and try some different things and to be more aggressive, and they've done that.
Second down and 6 at the 47. Here's Green again, and that offensive line is really firing off the football early. Barry Stokes delivering a nice block to Spring Green, and this time he picks up 7 yards.
And you know, this Colts defense is a much stronger defense this year. And the Browns thus far have been running right at them inside the tackles. And you got to be impressed, though, with this Colts improvement this year on the defensive side of the ball. Tony Dungy coming in and changing some things up in that defense. And they're coming in today's game ranked number 3.
And the Browns are short of the first down. That'll bring up third down and inches. Butch Davis, one of the few people believing in William Green when he struggled through those first 9 games. Green lost that starting job, and then he bounced back when Jamel White got hurt, and finally things started to slow down for him, and it clicked. So far, Green 5 carries, 20 yards.
When he really has some breakaway speed, you get him in the open field. Watch out. And as this young man develops, he's going to be dangerous coming out of the backfield catching the ball.
Third down and short. Out of the eye, Couch straight ahead, and he picks up the first down.
Boy, and Tim Couch took a shot on that
Certainly did. But don't forget, log on to NFL.com and get the latest insight from Boomer Esiason on the maturation of young quarterbacks. It's only at NFL.com or on America Online. Enter keyword NFL.com.
Speaking of Boomer and young quarterbacks, I saw him with that Bengals helmet on the pregame show, handing it to Carson Palmer. If I was Carson, I would have dropped that baby like a hot potato.
Poor Carson. First down and 10 at the 46th. Ninth play of the drive for the Browns. That started at their own 15. Draw play, Green. And William Green gets to the 44-yard line, maybe the 43. A pickup of 3 yards on the play. There's Coach Davis. And he has his team fired up. They've been cardiac kids this year. The Cardiac Browns.
Well, a lot of last play finishes for this Browns team. If you're a Browns fan, every week is interesting.
Second down, 7. Here comes a blitz. Green tackled in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Nicely done by Dwight Freeney, the rookie out of Syracuse. And we told you these guys are cardiac kids. Okay, yeah. In 29 games under Coach Davis, 16 have been decided in the last minute. But what's more amazing, 6 have been decided on the last play of regulation. That's unbelievable. And Coach Davis's hair continues to get grayer and thinner by the moment.
I'm sure he'll appreciate that.
Third down and 12 at the 48. They need to go to the 36 of Indianapolis for a first down. Out of the shotgun, here comes the blitz. And a flag on the play.
Well, I know Tim Couch is upset with that motion call.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, it's still third down.
Actually, that penalty might have saved Tim Couch. We got the blitz coming from the outside, both safeties, and a couple guys coming free. That might have been the best play for the Browns right there. You know, in the third and long situation right here, it's tough to try to throw for that first down. This is really where you run that draw or little screen pass to William Green coming out of the backfield. Jamel White as well, great third down specialist.
So a third down and a long 17. Couch setting up a screen. Here's White with the grab, but he is chopped down. Great looking play by Nick Harper as he read the screen perfectly. A flag, however, thrown.
Well, you just wonder if in the area that was thrown, if that, and I was going to say it was holding, but they're calling actually illegal procedure for the second time in a row against the Browns. And usually that flag doesn't come from deep in the secondary. That means one of the wide receivers must have jumped the call. And you know what I think about wide receivers jumping the count.
You do not like that. But
cannot be done.
There's Tony Dungy in his first season as the head coach in Indianapolis.
There were 2 fouls by the offense on the play. Illegal formation. Number 77 lined up in the backfield. There was also pass interference. Offense, number 85. Both penalties are declined. Brings up fourth down.
77 is Ross Verba and 85 is Kevin Johnson. So the Browns forced a punt. Chris Gardocki has gone 890 punts without a block. That's an NFL record. Troy Walters is back deep, standing at the 15. Gardocki, the left-footed punter, gets off a spiraling punt. Here's Walters back at the 12, and he is gang tackled inside his own 15. A 43-yard punt and a 2-yard return. And here comes Peyton. Stadium located on the banks of Lake Erie, and the Colts head to the line of scrimmage, trailing the Browns 6-0. First down and 10. Edgerrin James lines up as the single setback. Play action. Manning looking down the middle of the field, throws into double coverage, incomplete. Marvin Harrison, the intended receiver, but you had two Browns running stride for stride with him. Corey Fuller, one of them, along with Robert Griffith, the safety.
And on that play action fake, you got to get that safety to bite, and Robert Griffith was back the whole way, and Corey Fuller, the corner, said, hey, I'm going to have my best game as a Brown in 4 years to be able to make something happen successfully for this defense going against Marvin Harrison.
Second down and 10 at the 15. Here's Edgerrin James with the blocker in front of him, cuts it up and gets up to the 20. It's a gain of 5. Darren Hambrick pulling him down. And what do these Colts want to do on offense today, Bill?
Well, they really want to get that running game going. And, of course, you see Edgerrin James, and we know what Edgerrin has done in years past. Of course, playing with a high ankle sprain for several weeks now, coming off that knee reconstructive surgery from last year. You just got to admire this young man that continues to stay out on the field, although during the course of a game, sometimes that high ankle sprain really starts bothering him in the fourth quarter. Has been out on the bench here in the last few games or in the fourth, but the field conditions, Gus, are really helping Edgerrin thus far. Good footing down there, very good field, and that's what he's looking for.
On 3rd and 5, Manning underneath, it is caught. Marvin Harrison with the circus catch at midfield. Whoa, talk about concentration.
And, talk about concentration the second time, but the first time it went right through his hands. He got a great bounce right after the top of his helmet. Watch this ball ricochet off his hands right to the top of his helmet, and it comes right back in front of him. And, of course, great concentration to be able to stay on that. And Peyton Manning, one heck of a throw over Earl Holmes, who looked like he was dropping into that zone, and Peyton put it right over the top of the linebacker, right into Marvin's hands.
Marvin dropping a crucial, surefire touchdown last week against Tennessee as James picks up a half yard on the play. And he said that on being asked about dropping the touchdown pass, which would have kept the Colts in the game against the Titans, he said a 4-year-old could have caught that pass, but I just took my eye off of it.
And there's not a lot of guys in this league that would stand up and say, hey, it was my fault. I should have had it. Anybody could have caught that ball. But Marvin Harrison, you just got to respect him. And he doesn't talk a whole lot. So when Marvin speaks, people listen.
Second down and 9 at midfield for the Colts. And a timeout called by Cleveland.
On CBS is sponsored by T-Mobile. Get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Cadillac. Bold vehicles defying convention.
Monday on an all-new Late Show, Brent Dave's got your cousin, Catherine Zeta-Jones. And later this week, don't miss Denzel Washington, Drew Barrymore, LA Lakers star Kobe Bryant, and Tom Hanks. It's all new Dave all this week on CBS, America's most watched network.
My cousin, huh?
You wish. Second down and 9 at midfield for the Colts. Here's Manning looking, intercepted. Darren Hambrick. And Peyton Manning turns it over here in the first quarter. The Browns pick up the football, and they have good field position back right after this. Big-time play by Darren Hambrick gives Cleveland the ball. They already have the lead. Peyton Manning throwing his first interception of the game through 3 last week against Tennessee. So the Browns have it, first down and 10 at the Indianapolis 48-yard line. They get an opportunity to play with the short field. The handoff to William Green, and he loses a half yard on the play. And let's take another look at the interception.
And Darren Hambrick does a great job of just reading Peyton Manning's eyes. You see Peyton, watch him look to the left side of the field. He's going through his progression. He's looking left, and Hambrick just knows that he's gone through his second and third reads, and he just breaks on the fourth read and steps right in front of the pass. And that's Hambrick's second big play today. Of course, the interception right there, but he had a big third down stop here earlier in that first drive where he just sunk his knees and had a great form tackle.
So an injured Colt on the field. Can't tell who it is. Looks like a 70s number, maybe Raheem Brock. Yes, it is Raheem Brock, the rookie out of Temple, getting a start today over Brad Scioli. Scioli playing on passing situations.
Scioli's been banged up as well. He's got a shoulder injury, and he's been going in and out of the lineup. And of course, we talked about at the top of the show, Chad Brasky having to go down to the pet tackle position. This Colts defensive line has been getting worn down a little bit, and that's going to be instrumental here throughout the course of this game.
Second down and 11 at the 49. Play action. Couch looking down the field, and he dumps it off to William Green. And Green spins and gets crushed at the 43 after a gain of 7. But this young man is very versatile. You know he has a quick burst getting through the hole, but he also has nice soft hands when he's receiving.
Boy, he really has the whole package, and not a lot of believers here the first half of the season. That was tough. And you mentioned Butch Davis, one of his few proponents. Of course, when you draft a guy in the first round, you better stick with him for at least a year. But you see the blocks he's getting downfield, and William Green brings so much to this offense. Not just a running game, Gus, but words that you haven't heard around here for a while. Play action. That's got to be Tim Couch's best friend. You get safety stepping up, going for that play. And speaking of safeties,
Jason Doring a little shaken up on the play.
And he took a great shot right there. Actually delivered a blow. And sometimes when you deliver a blow on a guy, if you get his shoulder pad or his helmet, you end up on the receiving end. Hit William Green right there, and Doring's actually filling in for Drees Bashir.
And Bashir has a hamstring injury.
And so now you're 3 deep at the safety position for the Colts. And if you're Cleveland, you got to be aware of that and say, hey, let's take a shot deep, maybe off a play action. You got to go to the post at least a couple times, maybe the corner, but don't let a guy that comes in off the bench fresh get loosened up.
Third down and 4 at the 42. Out of the shotgun, underneath, the ball caught by Jamel White, still running. Picks up the first down at the Colts 30.
Well, we've talked so much today about William Green, but Jamel White had been holding down that running back position, 4.5 yards a carry. That's not too shabby. Jamel White's got some quickness, great receiver coming out of the backfield. Of course, Dennis Northcutt out today for the Browns. Their big play wide receiver, and Jamel White comes in as that 3rd and 4th wide receiver and can make some things happen in the passing game as well.
Jamel White, one of the better receivers on this team. He has 52 catches on the year, second behind Kevin Johnson. Back to Cleveland right after this. Browns have it at the 30. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, it's the Nextel Halftime Report. Join Jim Nantz and company for all the scores and highlights from Week 15 in the National Football League. Out of the offset eye, play action. Couch looking wide open. Kevin Johnson. Touchdown.
And Gus, when a wide receiver gets that wide open, there had to be some type of double move on the play. Tim Couch saw Kevin Johnson a little bit late, and that ball hung up for what seemed like an eternity. Kevin Johnson doing a spectacular job of coming back to the ball, getting it to high point and getting in the end zone, but the Colts were completely baffled since nobody was even close to the ball.
Extra point is up and good. Cleveland making a statement here in the first quarter. They march down the field again. Kevin Johnson with the score. 13-0 Browns.
Johnson, he's going to come out and do a little bit of a double move, but out and up. Watch him go inside Walt Harris. You don't usually see a receiver go inside. Does a nice arm over. See the fake? You see the arm go right over Walt Harris. Allows him free access inside. That ball hung up. Safety late getting over. And Kevin Johnson going up the high point and getting that ball and getting it into the end zone. What an impressive move. And And I felt like in this big game today that Kevin Johnson was going to have to make a play or two. He's been a big-time receiver ever since the Browns came back to Cleveland.
Third receiving touchdown of the year for Kevin Johnson. Here's Manning on play action, first down the field for Ismail, incomplete. Anthony Henry, the closest man to the football, and I tell you what, you don't want to throw that ball around Anthony Henry because he becomes a wide receiver.
Well, we know that Anthony Henry can intercept that ball, but this is a matchup that the Colts like. Qadri Ismail against Henry. You see a little double move, out and up. Henry doesn't bite on the out. We just saw that the last touchdown. Anthony Henry doing a nice job staying disciplined, not biting on that. Peyton's got to be a little bit more patient. Doesn't want to throw that ball up.
Second down and 10 at the 28. Here comes a blitz. Edger and James spinning forward, and he may have gotten a half yard. Darren Hambrick on the play again.
And I think if you're the Indianapolis Colts offense right now, you've got to stay patient. You've got to stay with your game plan. You still got to run the edge, even if he's getting 3 or 4 yards a carry, because your play action game is so important. You're going to need that third and fourth quarter. We're still at the end of the first quarter. You've got to stay within your game plan. You don't like being behind by that much on the road, but you've got to go ahead and take your shot.
Third and 9 at the 29. Manning over the middle, first down, Marvin Harrison. And Harrison gets all the way up to the 46, a gain of 18. Robert Griffith with the tackle. And Marvin Harrison now needs 3 catches to break Herman Moore's record for receptions in a season. And Butch Davis can't be happy with his team giving up a big third and long situation. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score. The Browns 13, the Colts nothing. We'll be back to Cleveland after these messages. You're watching the National Football League on CBS. With the 13-0 lead as we begin the second quarter. And the Browns came up with 161 yards of offense in the first quarter. Really ratcheting it up on this Indianapolis team.
When a big part of that's been Tim Couch and his time to throw the ball.
First down and 10 for Manning and the Colts at their own 47. Here's Peyton. On first down the seam, incomplete. Jodine Davenport, the intended receiver, that ball thrown behind him. Now, one of America's most enduring images, the Goodyear blimp, is floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear is one of the 3 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. And we had a chance to go up in there. As a matter of fact, our director came all the way from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Mark Grant, to take a ride on the blimp. But I think it was a little too windy, and he wasn't able to do it.
He got rained out. I think he would have been scared anyway.
Second and 10 at the 47. Quick strike to the sidelines. Ismail breaks a tackle, stood up, and taken down at the line of scrimmage. Dwayne Rudd, the 6th-year man out of Alabama, bringing him down. So Tim Couch and Peyton Manning, 2 former #1 overall picks, and compare them today, and Couch clearly playing better football after 1 quarter.
And good friends as well. And Butch Davis told me that, hey, he didn't want Tim Couch to press this week going against his old friend Peyton Manning and try to outdo him. He just wanted to play within the system and do the things that he's capable of doing and be patient. And thus far, that's worked well today for Tim Couch.
Third down and 9 at the 48. They need to go to the 43.5 for first down. Here comes a blitz. Ball is snapped, and a flag on the play.
When I think before the timeout was called, I think the Browns came across the neutral zone.
And Butch, he says, hey, it's against the other guys.
Before any action happened by the players, Indianapolis called timeout. That's their second.
So Peyton Manning gets the timeout called. 13-0 Cleveland. The Colts have dug a hole for themselves, 13-0. And they're now faced with a 3rd down and 9 at their own 48. They're 2 of 3 on third down conversions and need to go to the Cleveland 43 for first down. Manning out of the shotgun. Plenty of time to throw. Manning to the sideline, incomplete. Qadri Ismail, the intended receiver, but Anthony Henry was right in his hip pocket. And the Colts come up empty on offense once again.
You've seen the Colts now try to go to Ismail a couple times. Haven't been able to connect yet, but of course Marvin Harrison, a big part of any defense's game plan, trying to bump him and double cover and sometimes triple cover him. So you've got to go to some of your other weapons if you're the Colts.
Hunter Smith stands at the 33. Andre Davis back deep at the 10. Somebody jumping. I believe it's Anthony Henry for the Browns. Offside.
Neutral zone infraction, defense, number 37. It's a 5-yard penalty. It's still fourth down.
So Anthony Henry a little anxious to rush the passer.
Or the kicker.
Exactly, the kicker, exactly. What am I talking about?
Did you know there was a fake on? But he definitely was going for the block.
Yeah, he was definitely.
Looks like they're going to change up to a return this time. Anthony gave away that block call. Geez, now if that's against the Browns, that might be a first down.
And I believe it is.
And, you know, I know the Browns are going to argue head bob, but, boy, you can't jump anyway. And that's what Butch Davis is saying. Hey, the center's doing the old head bob trick, trying to draw my guys off. But a lot, you know, the officials let that happen every now and then, depending on how aggressive.
False start, offense.
Wow.
The center moved his head up before the ball was snapped. 5-yard penalty, it's still fourth down.
Tony Dungy's saying, I don't think so. And I kind of don't blame him. You know, all the center does, let's see if he moves his arms. I didn't see much movement. You saw Andre Davis come across that line. The Browns got lucky there. That would have been a huge penalty and a huge first down for the Colts.
Hunter Smith gets it off a wobbly kick, short. And it goes out of bounds at the 27, a 25-yard punt. So Tim Couch has had the magic touch early. Let's see if he can continue.
On CBS is sponsored by Ford. The best-selling trucks are built Ford tough. Zenith, the ultimate authority in high-definition TV. Digitize the experience. And by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time.
Welcome back. The first half has been filled with big plays for the Cleveland Browns. 2 touchdowns, a 78-yarder. Tim Couch to Quincy Morgan, and then a 30-yarder. Couch to Kevin Johnson. And the Browns missed one of the extra points. 13-0 our score. Here's Couch in trouble, and he loses it. Loose ball, and it's recovered by the Browns' Ross Verba.
And guess we're so familiar with that tuck rule. And let's see if that ball slips out of Tim Couch's hand. See, once he starts forward right that, you got the opportunity to bring it all the way down to your side. And let's see, when you see that right there, he had actually brought it back in and had possession, so that would have been a fumble had Verba not recovered it. Boy, we know that rule better than we ought to.
Second down and a long 20. Here's the handoff, and Green goes nowhere. And the Colts are 8-5 on the season. And we'll talk more about them in a moment. Meanwhile, let's go downstairs and join a future Hall of Famer, Marcus Allen.
Well, thanks, Gus. The receivers for the Browns are probably playing better than any unit on their team. And I talked to wide receiver coach Terry Robisky, and I said, why? He says the more meeting time, they're required to do cut-ups on the receivers they admire the most around the league. He says all this has made this a better unit. And remember, they're a young group, too. Back to you.
All right, Marcus. Here's White with the catch, and he gets up to the 30. A pickup of 11. Now let's go to New York, where Jim Nantz is standing by for an update.
All right, and the update here, Gus, coming from Miami, Chris Carter. Some questioning, why did he come out of retirement? For plays like this, the one-handed snag to give the Dolphins the 10-3 lead, second quarter. Let's go back to you.
Yeah, what a beautiful catch. Reminds you of the one Arande Gadsden made earlier this season. Sprawling out, catching it with one hand. Walters picking it up at the 25. And he goes down at the 25. Nice special teams coverage by Cleveland's Lewis Sanders. Back right after this. Colts take over, first down and 10 at their own 26. Peyton Manning, 4 of 9, 55 yards and an interception. Edgerrin James in the backfield. Here's James running. And a flag on the play. Edgerrin picking up a couple of yards. Dwayne Rudd there. Offside called against Cleveland.
Offside, defense number 90. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Mark Word.
Mark Word trying to get a jump on that snap count. And when we've done Browns games this year, Mark Word has stepped up in a big way. And a nice job rushing the passer. And if I'm the Colts right now, I get Marcus Pollard more involved. Peyton Manning's had some trouble getting the ball outside. His receivers, there's been some tight coverage. He is a great mismatch, the tight end over the middle of the field.
Play action. Here's Manning setting up a screen, and he dumps it. Looking for Marcus Pollard. A tight end screen, but the Browns read it nicely.
Second down.
And Marcus Pollard was trying to block and release, and he couldn't release. He got held up there. Watch him try to block out inside against Mark Word, and then he spins around. He's going to release, and Mark Word had spun around. So they both did circles and end up smacking into each other, and Pollard had some running room there along the side on the tight end screen.
Second down and 5 at the 31. Here's Manning to Edgerrin James, turns it up, has the first down, and gets to the 42. And James still, even though he has a tender ankle, he has that great burst when he grabs the football.
And I think that really the difference in Edgerrin James' game this year has been that cutting ability, that elusiveness that he's brought to the table the last couple years. And it's just tough coming back from the knee surgery. Of course, we've talked about the high ankle sprain. And there's a lot of things he can do, but I think next year he's going to be back and 100% and doing things like he used to.
Here's James again, following his block. And James gets up to the 45, make it the 47. A gain of 6. Here's a question for you, Brent, and you're good at these. Which potential AFC playoff team is in most need of home field advantage to advance through the playoffs? The Dolphins, the Patriots, the Colts, Tennessee, Oakland, or San Diego? Cast your vote at NFL.com.
See, I don't like the way that's worded.
Why?
Because in most need of home field advantage, it's like your team's no good and you need it or you can't win. I think the team that would have the greatest advantage at home would be the Colts. You know why?
Why?
You know, that was the only team right there that's on AstroTurf.
Ah, very, very good. Here's Manning, and he slides down. Peyton Manning, he is playing with very tender right knee. For the second time in 5 years, Manning is dealing with that swollen knee that he injured last week versus Tennessee.
And so that burst sack, and that thing fills up like a little mini water balloon in your knee. And he said he noticed it after the last game in the shower. Hey, look at that. My knee's swollen. It's a frustrating thing to deal with, but he practiced all this week. He said it's not that big of a deal. He didn't get it drained, and he said it shouldn't bother him.
Third down and 1. Here's Mungro lowering his head, and he won't get it. He will not get it. Needed to get inside the 50. And the Browns hold up once again.
Boy, and that's one of those deals where you always talk about your quarterback sliding and protecting himself, but Peyton slid a half yard before that first down marker, and James Mungro not getting it. And it looks like the Colts are going to go ahead and try to punt it. Although, remember, last time they tried to punt, had a couple of, or at least one offsides against the Browns, maybe two. The second one went against the Colts, but boy, I don't know. At this point in the game, Gus, 50-yard line and down by 13.
You think they should go for it?
Boy, I don't know. They hadn't been successful running inside, but it might not hurt at this point.
Well, they will punt it away. Smith with a high wobbler. Andre Davis camps under it, and it's fair caught at the 16, a 34-yard punt. It's been a long and frustrating day for Peyton Manning. And the Browns with a 13-0 lead over the Colts. 8:47 to play in the first half. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones from Cleveland Browns Stadium. First down and 10 for Tim Couch and company at their own 17. Here's the handoff, and Green goes nowhere. He loses a couple of yards on the play. Rob Morris with the tackle. But so far, the Browns have had a knack for coming up with big plays.
And I think a big part of this game here in the first half has been the elusiveness of the Browns. Look at that move by Quincy Morgan. And the elusiveness of the Browns receivers, specifically Kevin Johnson, with a great double move, going up and getting the ball at the high point. And of course, William Green's been elusive on the ground as well. And a lot of the credit has to go to that man. Bruce Arians, the coordinator for the Browns, who actually was the quarterback coach for 3 years in Indianapolis.
And Couch is jumped on. Dwight Freeney, the rookie out of Syracuse, comes up with his 9th sack of the season.
And Dwight Freeney has been a phenomenal pick for this Indianapolis Colts team this year. And Tim Couch with that fake reverse handoff and just gets drilled. And Freeney has such an explosive first step. And you know what, Gus? 6'1". He is tough to block for offensive tackles because he's low. He's already got leverage, plays low. He's got great speed, an impressive young man.
Here's Green, chopped down at the 15-yard line. Some nice hitting going on. Rob Morris clobbering him after a gain of 9, and the Browns have to punt it away.
And that was a big stop by this Colts defense. And you saw Rob Morris a couple times. And, of course, Mike Peterson, this linebacking crew for the Colts, has really been significant this year. And they've been a much more aggressive team under Tony Dungy. And both of those guys, Rob Morris and Peterson, are coming into their own.
Gardocki sends it away. Walters fielding it on the run at the 45, still running. And Troy Walters gets all the way up to the Cleveland 44-yard line, a 40-yard punt and a 12-yard return. Lanoy Jones with the tackle on special teams. As you take a look at a nice aerial view of Cleveland Browns Stadium on the bank of Lake Erie, where coming up next on CBS Sports Spectacular, it's head-to-head slalom excitement with Phil and Steve Mayer, Tommy Moe, A.J. Kidd and Tim Daly, Melissa Rivers, Steve Garvey, and many more show off at the Merrill Lynch Celebrity Ski Classic. First down and 10 for the Colts at the 43. Manning on play action down the middle. Ismail, the intended receiver, incomplete. That one thrown a little bit high. Corey Fuller right there, and Ismail is shaken up. He's coming into this game with a jammed wrist that he suffered last week against Tennessee.
And you see the play action fake. Peyton Manning taking a shot to that post. Qadry Ismail on the ball a little high, but touched his fingers. A lot of receivers think if he touches your fingers, you should have it. And Ismail coming off the field and great speed. Been a big addition to this Colts passing offense here this year.
He's in a lot of pain. He may not know where he is right now. Ismail wobbly, walking off the field. Second down 10 at the 43. Browns showing blitz. Now they back out of it. Edgerrin James with the blocker. Cuts it back. Edgerrin James close to the first down. A gain of 9.
And Edgerrin James doing a nice job following his big tackle. Tarek Glenn. Watch him follow the big man. Stay right on his hip. That's exactly what running backs are taught. Of course, sees the lane to cut back inside. Nice hole, and that's the Edgerrin James that we know and love.
James, 8 carries, 36 yards. Took himself out of the game. Third down and 1 at the 34. James Mungro lines up as the deep back. Here's Mungro again, and Mungro fumbles the ball. The Browns say they have it, and do. So once again, the Indianapolis Colts shoot themselves in the foot
And the Colts electing to run off tackle there. The Browns have been blitzing on third down and stopped them a couple times. You see the pressure inside. Mungro bouncing it outside. Looks like he has the first down. Keeps those legs churning. Sometimes that second extra effort can get you into trouble when you're stood up like that. He already had the first down. Watch him spin. Keeps those legs rolling. And then someone's going to take a shot, and that ball's out. I think that was Gerard Warren that hit him late.
First down and 10 for Cleveland at the 33. Here's the pitch to Green around the corner in a hurry. William Green accelerating as his shoulders square to the line of scrimmage, and he picks up 9 yards.
Well, you hear announcers all the time talk about running downhill. It's getting your shoulders square and accelerating. It just almost brings up that image of running downhill, and William Green looked exactly like that on that toss. When he gets those shoulders square, just puts it into another gear, running with authority, something he didn't do early. And of course, you mentioned missing training camp, or a couple weeks of training camp, holdout, an injury, and just really never got into the flow.
2nd and 1 at the 42. He's flowing well now. And Green met in the backfield, dropped for a loss. Raheem Brock coming up with the play. Now Thursday on the finale of Survivor, it's down to the final 4 castaways. 2 intense hour, 1 ultimate survivor. Who will walk away a millionaire? Don't miss the season finale and reunion show hosted by Jeff Probst. 3 unforgettable hours of Survivor Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. Sometimes I feel like they should give me that $1 million, Brent.
I haven't beat you up a whole lot.
Yeah, you've been killing me. I feel like a survivor being with you for 4 years. Here's Green. Flag on the play.
Well, it sure looked to me like the Colts jumped. I can't believe offside on 3rd and short. You've got to be aware of that hard
Offside,
count.
defensive nose guard, 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Coach Dunzy, of course, Gus, looking a little frustrated, and I don't blame him. A couple turnovers and dumb penalties right there like that one. You just got to be a little bit smarter than that in those situations and know you're going to get a hard count. And probably the most significant stat about the Colts coming into the game today, Gus, at -4 in turnovers, takeaway, giveaway ratio, and they haven't been good when they've given the ball up. They're 1-5 this year when they're minus in a game.
First down and 10. Here's Couch dumping it to Green out of the backfield, and Green maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Mike Peterson, David Gibson with the tackle.
And how about 5-0, the Colts this year when they're on the plus side of the takeaway giveaway, 1-5 when they're on the negative side. With dumb plays and a couple turnovers can really put you in a hole. And you see William Green, we talked about him catching the ball and being more of a force in the passing game. Colts doing a good job of rallying to the ball because he's got some speed outside.
2nd down and 10 at the 47. Here's Green again. And William Green inside Indianapolis territory. Down at the 45, a loose ball. No whistles on the play. Let's see here.
And there was not a whistle.
No whistles. They say the Colts have it. I thought he was down. David Macklin picked it up.
And we were just talking about takeaway giveaways and the Colts needing to create something, and they looks like they might have one.
The ruling on the field was the Cleveland player fumbled the ball, was legally recovered by Indianapolis, as was the second fumble. Indianapolis ball, first down.
Wow.
Well, let's go back to that replay. William Green hitting it on up inside. And it's tough to tell from that angle. Of course, no whistle.
And they've thrown the flag on the field. This will be challenged.
And this angle is going to probably give us a better opportunity to see if that ball comes out before his knee was down.
Oh, he was down.
You think so, huh?
He was certainly down.
Well, that ball is coming out.
Look at his knee. It's down right there. And the ball is in his hands.
You know what? I don't think it was out yet when that knee was down. Let's go back. Let's look at that angle one more time. That was a great shot. Of course, the call, Gus, on the field was a fumble. So it's got to be irrefutable evidence to overturn that fumble. And that means a clear shot of the knee down and clear possession of that ball. Now, if the officials feel that ball was starting to slide out or was coming out, when that knee's down, there's knee, and there's knee down, and it looks like there's his hand still on the ball. And then it comes out, and that last punch at it. I'm going to say no fumble. We hadn't been wrong on a lot of these calls this year.
So Ed Hockley, the referee, has 90 seconds to view the challenged play.
When sometimes you just don't get great camera angles, no matter how many cameras you got at a field. And there's a couple of great shots, especially when there's bodies inside.
Well, this is real time. That ball laying on the floor and picked up by David Macklin. And Butch Davis has been very successful challenging plays this season. #1 in front of Tom Coughlin.
Didn't take him a long time to throw that flag.
No, he did.
And I bet William Green ran over there and said, hey, coach, I didn't fumble. Sometimes the players can plead you into throwing that flag. And like I said earlier, a couple times during the season, there's so many bodies in there. It's tough to tell on replay. We got a great camera shot of the knee down and the ball clutched by William Green, and then it's just going to get stripped in the next frame late. And so, Gus, I think that's going to be a Cleveland ball, and I know the Colts aren't going to be happy. It was a bang-bang play. It's obviously close, but I think that knee was down and sliding.
So here comes Mr. Hockley to render a decision.
The Cleveland runner's knee hit the ground before the ball came loose. Therefore, it is Cleveland's ball on the 47.5-yard line. 3rd down.
So the Browns hold on, and it's been one of those kinds of halves for Tony Dungy and his Colts.
And a great clear shot, and you're going to see, and usually that knee is so predominant hitting the ground, but right there it's hitting and sliding. And the ball comes out in the next frame, and you see him slide through there. Clearly possession while the knee was down by William Green, and a great job of going to replay and getting the right call.
So Corey Fuller talking to the young running back, trying to keep his confidence going. 3rd down and 4 at the 47. They need to go to the 43 for a 1st down. Flag on the play.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
It's Ross Verba.
Well, and a big difference, of course, between 3rd and 4 and 3rd and 9, just in terms of setting up and where you got to go. And, of course, it takes the run out of the thought process if you're the Indianapolis Colts defense. And now this is the time to go ahead and take your shot at Tim Couch. I want to watch Dwight Freeney right here, who just is coming up like a bullet at that right end position for the Colts.
So 3rd down 9 at the 48. They need to go to the 43 of Indianapolis for a 1st down. Here comes a blitz. Couch standing in there, caught by Morgan, but he doesn't have enough for a 1st down. Short, getting to the 45, a gain of 7.
Boy, and Quincy Morgan took a shot and dropped that ball. He actually fumbled it, bounced up right into his chest, and the Colts are saying incomplete pass. And had he gotten the 1st down, I'm sure the Colts would challenge this. Takes a big shot. His knee's not down,
Whoa.
bang, and you see that ball, and that's called a lucky bounce if you're a Browns fan, and continued unlucky bounce if you're an Indianapolis Colts fan.
Gardocki stands at the 41. Troy Walters at his own 9. High spiraling kick. Walters lets it go over his head, and it takes a bounce and is down inside the 15. A 33-yard punt, no return. Nicely done by Chris Gardocki. Now, see why CBS Monday is America's Night of Television. We start with the King of Queens, followed by Yes Dear, then Ray Romano, and Everybody Loves Raymond. Still standing, CSI Miami, the new hit show, and we wrap it up with Late Show starring David Letterman. Monday here on CBS, America's most watched network.
You think Dave Letterman's watching the game this weekend into the playoff?
Well, he's an Indianapolis Colts fan. He's from Indy.
I was just testing your knowledge.
He's still waiting for some highway to be named after it. I saw him talking to the mayor a couple of weeks ago. First down and 10 at the 14. Draw play, and this is Ricky Williams. Rookie running back out of Texas Tech, Devin Bush, brings him down, and that brings us to the 2-minute warning. With the score, Cleveland 13, Indy 6. Browns lead the Colts under 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Gus Johnson and Brent Jones. The Browns set the tone on the very first play of the game.
They have, and big plays by the wide receivers, of course. Big drive right here for the Colts. They've got to come up with something going into half. Don't want to be shut out on the road.
And Manning dumping it off, incomplete, intended for Ricky Williams. And that brings up third down and 9. Coming up on the next halftime report, join Jim, Dion, Dan, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. That's coming up on the next halftime report.
And you got to go ahead and give the Browns credit. Anthony Henry, Corey Fuller, of course, doing a great job in pass defense. Robert Griffith, we've seen him all over the field from the safety position. This Colts offense just looks a little disheveled. They're not clicking on all cylinders. It just doesn't have much flow to it today. I'm telling you, it's time to get Marcus Pollard over the middle. Loosen up those safeties.
Here's Manning. Runs it, and Manning is brought down. Mark Word bringing down Peyton Manning on third down and 9. And the Browns will get it back once again.
And of course, every game we do, Mark Word has a big game. He should start bringing us to every one of his games. Look at the pressure right there. Coming off Tarek Glenn, and Tarek Glenn doing a nice job. But once Peyton Manning steps up those first couple steps, Mark Word, very explosive, jumping right back inside and lassoing Peyton Manning.
Mark Word with 7 sacks on the season. A man out of Jacksonville State in his second year.
And what a find for this Cleveland Browns team. Of course, leading the team in sacks, and just got a great motor in this young man.
Hunter Smith stands at his own goal line. Andre Davis at the 40. And Smith gets it away barely. That one hangs in the air, and it's fair caught inside Indianapolis territory. So with 1:33 to go, the Browns have a timeout and excellent field position. And don't forget, overhead today is the Akron-based blimp Spirit of Goodyear to provide aerial views of today's game. The Goodyear blimp, a familiar sight in the American sky since 1925. First down and 10 at the 45 for Cleveland. Jamel White lines up in the backfield. Couch out of the shotgun. Underneath. It's caught. Mark Campbell at the 35. A gain of 10. And the Browns quickly get to the line of scrimmage.
Not allowing the Colts to sub in, going no huddle.
Here's Jamel White, stutter step, gets through the hole, and is taken down by Mike Peterson. 1:07 to play in the first half.
Listen, watch Andre Davis getting some single coverage with the safety outside.
Underneath by Kevin Johnson, and he's dropped at the 23 by Rob Morris, but it's a gain of 10 already. The Browns in field goal range, doing a great job in the 2-minute here. And Couch spikes it.
And Tim Couch operating a nice 2-minute drill. Only one timeout left, trying to conserve it. Browns have done a great job of showing that sense of urgency, getting up, getting the receivers running back to the line of scrimmage instead of just loitering.
Loitering. I like that. There's Coach Arians, the offensive coordinator, former quarterbacks coach for 3 years with Indianapolis, tutoring Peyton Manning, and they run pretty much the same offense as the Colts.
Well, and I think the Browns, Gus, are the ones that have to take that timeout, and that's exactly what you didn't want to do, is waste that timeout right there.
So let's take a look at the big picture, folks. The Browns putting pressure on the Pittsburgh Steelers by way of that dramatic win last week at Jacksonville, and the Steelers just falling apart against the expansion Houston Texans. A half game separates these two. Remember, the winner of the division gets an automatic bid into the playoffs. In the AFC South, Tennessee has New England this week, and Indianapolis and Tennessee tied record-wise, but Tennessee has defeated the Colts twice, so they own the tiebreaker. Second down and 10 at the 23. Browns looking end zone here. Here's Couch. Sets up a screen. White with the catch. Breaks it outside. White down at the 11. No timeouts.
You just got to go ahead and spike that ball and huddle back up. Nice job of calling the screen against the blitz. They expected it, got it, and got the big first down. And now, Gus, with 24 seconds left, if you avoid the sack, you can take 3 shots into the end zone. Now, if you're the Colts, of course, a sack becomes even more important since the Browns don't have any timeouts left. But you see the Colts coming on the blitz. Tim Couch doing a nice job of backpedaling, getting it out to Jamel White, makes a move outside, thinking sideline, probably should have stayed outside all the way and got out of bounds. Needless to say, you got some shots if you're the Browns.
Second down and 10. Here's Couch. Broken up, almost intercepted. Intended for Mark Campbell.
Boy, and that's the first time today that we've seen Tim Couch try to force that ball in. 2 linebackers right around Mark Campbell. You can't do that. I guess one of the interesting dynamics of this situation is with no timeouts for the Browns, a sack, and you'd see that field goal team come sprinting out onto the out onto the field. 20 seconds left. That is a pretty darn quick time to have to get that off. So Tim Couch has to throw that ball away in this situation.
Third down and 10. Here's Couch again, looking into the end zone, and he fires this one out of bounds. So here comes the field goal unit. Phil Dawson comes in, and he's missed 3 of his last 4 attempts. Last week, he missed 2 field goals in a game for the first time in his entire career.
And, of course, today we've already had that bad snap, that first touchdown. The ball skidded right through, all the way back, right through Chris Gardaki's hands, trying to make the scoop. And
this one from 30 yards away. Gardaki is the holder. Get it down, it's up and perfect. The Cleveland Browns look terrific in the first half. On both sides of the football, Tim Couch and Bruce Arians are thinking with the same brain. And the Browns feel that they are postseason bound. As we take a look at the AFC playoff picture, the top 6 make the playoffs, division winners, then 2 wild card teams are invited. Indianapolis, San Diego right now with 8-5 records. And there's New England, Cleveland, the Jets, Denver, and KC all 7-6.
And you'd like to think 10-6 gets you in if you're the Colts, but this game becomes instrumental because of the head-to-head. If these guys end up tied in the tiebreaker, the winning team, of course, has the edge. And so many different rules this year and tiebreakers, and you're trying to figure it all out, and so many teams with 5 or 6 losses. And everybody seems to play each other here this last couple of weeks, so it's a free-for-all trying to who to decide is going to have the best advantage in tiebreakers, but this clearly is one of them, head-to-head, these 2 teams playing today.
16-0. Cleveland. Here's Walters allowing it to go into the end zone for a touchback with 12 seconds left. An inauspicious first half for Peyton Manning. He has really struggled. The entire Colts offense struggling. 5 of 13, 65 yards, an interception. And they do look out of sync on offense. As Manning has a quick conversation with Ed Hockley. Here come the Colts. I believe they will take a knee. And yes, they will. And that will take us to the end of the first half. Tim Couch sprints off. He's thrown for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. And now the Colts get back onto the field. Here's Peyton Manning. And Manning and the Colts with some trickery there. No time remaining on the clock now.
Well, the old fake kneel down and go off to the halftime locker room. And you know what? That would have been a great time to go ahead and throw the ball downfield. I think the Browns only had 8 or 9 guys on the field.
So flags all over the field. So the officials have to sort it out. So a wild sequence to end the first half, and I don't know if the first half is officially over.
And I think that means the penalty is going to be against the Browns. Of course, the flag. They were offside. I don't think they got back.
Let's take a look at the play.
And you see all the Browns out here running off the field. I don't know.
Time that the ball was snapped, they were in the offensive backfield. Therefore, there was an offside on the play. Defense. It's an extended down. 1 down will extend.
So 1 remaining down for the Colts. And they lose the element of surprise, so I'm sure they will just take a knee this time.
Well, it was a heck of an idea.
But they didn't throw the ball.
That. Yeah, I mean, to put the ball in the hands of Peyton and have him run.
Therefore, by rule, the half is over.
So now they say the half is over.
Well, Peyton Manning declined the offsides penalty. They just tried to catch him.
And it couldn't end quick enough for Tony Dungy. A horrendous first half for the Colts. Different story for the Browns. 16-0. Cleveland with the lead. Now let's go downstairs where Marcus Allen that Indianapolis can score a lot of points rather in bunches. So here's Walters from the 5. And he gets up to the 25, make it the 26-yard line. Moments ago, our Marcus Allen talked to head coach Tony Dungy of Indianapolis.
Well, I'm down here with Coach Dungy. You guys have not played well the first half. Let's be honest about that. But you certainly are explosive enough on offense to come back.
No, we are. We just have to start playing ball. We've missed 3 3rd-and-1s. We've given up kind of 2 jump ball touchdowns. So we just have to get this ball and score and make it a tight game and get back in the 4th quarter.
All right, good luck taking with that, Coach.
Okay, the Colts start 1st and 10 at their own 26. Play action to the sideline. Marvin Harrison with the grab at the 42. Harrison needs 2 catches now to break Herman Moore's record for receptions in a season.
Because one of the things Peyton Manning told us is they might go no huddle at a couple points in this game just to keep the Browns off balance. That's sometimes a great way to recharge your offense, and it looks like what they're going to try right here.
1st and 10 at the 42. Here's Edgerrin James. He stood up and drilled Dwayne Rudd, the outside linebacker, making the tackle. A lot of contact.
Going to rate Dwayne Rudd, coming off his best game of the season against Jacksonville last week. Just a big shot on Edgerrin James. Looked to be shaken up a little bit.
James a little wobbly as he walks over to the sideline. James Mungro and Ricky Williams are the backups. And that makes it 2nd down and 11 at the 41. Mungro in the game now. Here's Manning underneath Marvin Harrison with the catch. Breaks it back down the sideline, still running, and finally tiptoes out of bounds after a gain of 24. He has now tied Herman Moore's record. And he needs one more to break it. For receptions in a season, that one is 123rd.
And Marvin Harrison isn't going to just break the record. He's going to demolish it.
Obliterate it, right? 5 catches, 93 yards today for Marvin. Colts driving. Here's Mungro on the draw play, and Mungro doesn't run north and south. He kind of headed toward the sideline. Gave the Browns some time to catch up with them. He loses a yard.
And I talked a few minutes ago about Gus, the no huddle. Of course, the Colts do an awful lot of no huddle, but at an accelerated pace, and that's what they've done right here. And they've gone with a quicker snap count, get up. You don't see Peyton pointing out all the blocking assignments and the calls to keep that snap rolling.
2nd down and 11 to the sideline. Bobbled and dropped by Marcus Pollard. And you don't see that happen too often.
Boy, you don't. And one of those things with Marcus Pollard, just speaking from experience, sometimes you get frustrated if you don't get a chance till the 3rd quarter. Did some blocking, of course, ran some routes in the first half, didn't get a lot of opportunities, and was just frustrated. Sometimes you want to catch that ball and make something happen right away.
No catches today for Pollard. Makes it 3rd down and 11 at the 37. They need to go to the 26 for a 1st down. And a timeout called. Back to Cleveland right after this. Timeout, Browns.
For the private use of our audience, any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Just 3rd and 11 for Tony Dungy's offense right here. And maybe you're in 4 down territory. You take 2 shots because on 4th down, you haven't generated any points inside the 40. And we see the Colts linemen point at the blitzers. A lot of blitzing today from the Cleveland Browns.
3rd down and 11. They need to go to the 26 for a 1st down. Here's Manning, steps up in the pocket on that tender knee. Manning slides down. He's short of the 1st down. So let's see what the Colts elect to do. I believe they are going to go for it on 4th down. They need about 2.5 yards. Going for it on 4th down. They have to go to the Cleveland 26. Peyton Manning calls it at the line of scrimmage.
And with all the blitz they've gotten, not a bad time to throw a little screen to Mungro.
Play clock winding down. Here's Mungro with a huge opening. Still running. James Mungro sprints to the end zone. Touchdown on 4th down and 2.5. A 29-yard touchdown.
And Butch Davis saying to himself, how can we miss that? We've been dominating on 3rd down all day. 4th down, 2.5, almost 3, Gus. Up the gut. Look at that hole. Look at the clearing out by the offensive line. And then Robert Griffith drops his head. You don't usually see that from Robert Griffith. He is usually a very sure tackler, and Mungro runs right through that arm tackle and into the end zone. And what a huge play for this Colts offense.
So the Colts march it into the end zone on their first series of the 2nd half. The drive, 7 plays, covering 74 yards. James Mungro, the rookie out of Syracuse, gets Indianapolis on the board. The Colts finally getting on the board, 16-7 our score. 7-play, 74-yard drive, capped off by the 29-yard run by James Mungro. Indianapolis sends it away. Here's Davis from the 10. Davis is taken down at the 25. A 15-yard return. Let's take a look at the touchdown.
Boy, and what a call by Peyton Manning, fourth and almost 3. You don't want to go ahead and run the ball, you'd think. But watch that block right here. Ryan Dean, number 71, opening up that big hole for Mungro. And Peyton Manning had seen the safety for the Cleveland Browns on the other side of the field supporting. And he just went ahead and said, hey, I'm going to go with the run. We had man-on-man. No extra man for the Browns. And I'm sure Peyton expected the first down, but not a touchdown. But what a big play.
So let's see if the Browns tighten up now that the Colts have gotten on the board. Cleveland running it on first down, and they get to the 29.
Now, of course, playing with a lead at home, you're still going to be a little conservative, but the Browns can't afford to be too conservative at this point.
So what does that mean?
That means you still got to mix in the pass plays. Of course, the receivers have come up big today for the Cleveland Browns. Play action. Don't just run it first, second, and third down and then punt it. We've seen a lot of teams get conservative with leads this year, and they end up slipping away in the second half.
Second down and 8. Here's Couch. Underneath, incomplete. William Green, the intended receiver. He heard some footsteps. Mike Peterson right on the play. And here are the offensive leaders in the game thus far. Tim Couch having an excellent afternoon. William Green, effective running. And Quincy Morgan has shown a flair for the big play. That 78-yard touchdown on the first play of the game. Third down and 8 at the 29. Here's Couch out of the shotgun to Kevin Johnson, but he's short of the first down. So if you're Indianapolis, that's what you want. You score a touchdown and you force the Browns to go 3 and out.
And I think a big part of that was Cliff Crosby, the safety, coming up. You're going to see him right there jumping into the screen. Of course, coming with the blitz, the Colts made Tim Couch throw that ball quickly, and Kevin Johnson rather, had to cut off his route a little short of the first down because the blitz was coming.
Gardocki from the 20. Wobbly kick. Walters backpedaling from the 19. And Walters gets over the 25 to the 27. An 8-yard return on a 47-yard punt. Cleveland with the lead, but the momentum has shifted into the favor of the Colts, who have first and 10 at the 28 over the middle. There's Marcus Pollard. And Brent, you've been calling for that play the entire game. A gain of 19.
Well, Marcus Pollard can make so many things happen over the middle of the field. Of course, little play action, and the big tight end is just like another receiver out there getting down the middle of the field.
No huddle offense by the Colts. Manning pump fake, looks backside, incomplete. Mungro, the intended receiver, he just dropped it. Now let's go to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, Gus and Brent, here's an update for you on Baltimore at Houston, and it's Jeff Blake finding Chester Taylor. He hooked up earlier with Travis Taylor. This time Chester Taylor gives the Ravens the 20-7 lead there at Houston. Let's go back to you.
It's like a tailor-made day for Jeff Blake.
No question.
Now Jim Nantz would love that.
Second down and 10. To the sideline. Ismael with the grab, lowers his shoulder, gets close to the first down. A gain of 8. Busy day for Jim Nantz in New York. Here's another update.
All right, and Brent Jones, I give you a perfect 10 on the tailor-made. Meanwhile, Leon Johnson, the ex-Jet, gives the Bears the 10-point advantage right here. Jets have just added a field goal, though, from John Hall. It's now 17-10, final seconds, third quarter. Back to you.
Okay, third down and 1 at the 44. A lot of pressure on the Jets as they try to keep their postseason hopes alive, and nothing to play for the Chicago Bears. Manning looking, goes up top, incomplete. Marcus Pollard, again, the intended receiver, got locked up in one-on-one coverage with Earl Little.
And Peyton Manning throws a beautiful ball. You see him pump to his right and come back to the left, moving the safety. But Marcus Pollard had to stretch his arms out, but usually comes up with that, Gus. And a fourth down, the Colts are going to go for it again. We know what happened last time on 4th down. A big James Mungro touchdown.
All they need is a yard. Here's Manning. Fires. Harrison with the grab. And he also has the record. Marvin Harrison has just broken Herman Moore's record for receptions in a season with 124.
And what a spectacular receiver Marvin Harrison has become. And he's having a great impact on this league. And now the record for most receptions in a season.
1st down and 10 for the Colts. Here's Mungro running over the right side. Mungro protecting the football and keeping his legs churning. He picks up a 1st down, a gain of 12. Dwayne Arud brings him down, and he gets up a little shaky. And Mungro now heading to the sideline. Edgerrin James got dinged the last time he touched the football. And now Mungro comes out, and James remains on the sideline.
With his helmet off, Gus, and that's a telling sign. Doesn't look like Edgerrin James is going to be in this half. At this point, might have got a concussion.
So it will be up to Ricky Williams. 1st and 10 at the 28. Here's Manning looking for Harrison. Incomplete. Manning had to throw that one quickly because there was a lot of pressure coming from Gerard Warren.
You saw Peyton yelling to the sideline. Marcus Pollard was on the sideline, and Peyton thought he was going to be in the game. He had Joe Dean Davenport in there, actually, instead of Marcus Pollard. He's looking at the sideline going, hey, what's going on? Hey, get out here. We need you on the field.
2nd down 10 at the 28. Look at the total yards for Indianapolis this quarter. Here's Williams, nowhere to go. He is taken down by Earl Holmes. A loss of 2. So the Colts are running out of running backs. Edgerrin James, James Mungro, both on the sideline because of injuries. Tony Dungy going to Ricky Williams, another rookie. And Indianapolis faced with a 3rd down and 12. They need to go to the 18-yard line for 1st down. Here's Manning stepping up, and he is dropped. Gerard Warren almost got to him on the last play. He gets to him this time. And that is the 1st sack of the day for the Browns.
And so important for the Browns to get pressure in this situation with their front 4. Actually brought 1 linebacker as well, but Gerard Warren using that leverage and lean, staying with it, keeping those legs churning, and Peyton Manning's trying to step up and get that ball downfield. Had a receiver coming across and didn't have time to throw it. Now just a big 51-yard field goal. Vanderjagt's been shaky the last few games, and could give the Browns some great field position if he misses it. Yeah, I think they're going to send the punt team out there. That's a little bit risky. Going for it on 4th and 1 is one thing, but kicking a 51-yarder.
And a problem with the play clock as they bring the punt team out onto the field. And remember, Vanderjagt won a game for Tony Dungy at Denver in overtime with a 51-yard field goal. Is
delay of game offense. The penalty is declined. Remains 4th down.
So delay of game.
And they've got the Browns to jump a couple times today, so no use going for it.
Hunter Smith pops it in the air, and the Colts are right on it. Downed inside the 5-yard line at the 2. A 30-yard punt. 6:54 to go in the 3rd. Back after this. Years. Browns backed up, huddling up in their own end zone. They have it at the 3. Cleveland a little bit of breathing room, extending it over the 5-yard line, a pickup of 3.
You know, one of the things that we haven't talked about and didn't talk about after the Colts' last touchdown is they didn't go for 2. And early in the second half, a lot of coaches don't believe in that going for 2 stuff. You know, you wait to the middle of the third, late of the third quarter, and Coach Dungy electing to just go ahead and kick that extra point. And we saw Cleveland, after missing that first extra point of the game, they didn't go for 2 the second time around. And some controversy this year about when to go for 2 and when not to go for 2. But so far, both coaches sticking with the kickers so far today.
2nd and 7 at the 6. The pitch to Green. And Green trying to get outside. He's ridden down at the 9. Walt Harris making the tackle. And Walt Harris, we had a chance to talk to this young man, played collegiately at Mississippi State from LaGrange, Georgia. He is the youngest of 11. 7 brothers, 3 sisters, and when it comes to a man being proud of his mom, Walt Harris is so proud of the job his mother did with he and the rest of his siblings, and he plays for her every time he steps on the field. 3rd down and 4. Here's Couch stepping up. That one incomplete. Looks like he had his hand hit as he released the football. And the Browns have to punt it away again.
Boy, and Chad Bratsky getting back there and just drilling Tim Couch. Of course, that arm had already started going forward. That ball came out almost like a fumble. But, of course, once that arm starts forward, it's a pass. You see that? But Bratsky coming from behind and Scioli right there. Awful close.
Gardocki punting in his own end zone. High, wobbly kick. Walters from the 48. And he gets inside Cleveland territory. A 44-yard punt and a 4-yard return sets up Peyton Manning and the Colts offense. 16-7 Cleveland, but Indianapolis has the ball at the Browns 48. Different story for the Colts here in the second half. The offense finally starting to find its rhythm. Here's Manning passing. Edgerrin James back in with the catch. And James gets out of bounds at the 45, a 4-yard pickup.
Well, and I didn't think Edgerrin James was going to come back into the game. You know, usually when your offense is on the field and you're on the bench with your helmet off, that's usually a good sign. And maybe a few smelling salts, and he said, hey, I feel good enough to come back in. And what a warrior this young man has been this year.
2nd down and 6, and look at the numbers in the second half for Indianapolis. Here's James again. And James out of bounds, close to the 1st down.
Boy, and that's such a tough one to cover, Edgerrin James on that swing route, one-on-one with a linebacker. And, you know, you're going to get 5 or 6 yards every time. And you keep doing that, and all of a sudden maybe the safety starts cheating over, and you just get a step or 2, or maybe a little fake that way, and you come back over the top on the post route. Peyton Manning, as good as pump faker as there is, and you talk about his play action fakes, but he can pump fake you out of position just as well.
He picks up the 1st down. Here's James running now. James breaking tackles, and he dives forward to the Cleveland 31 after a gain of 7. Now tonight on 60 Minutes, whether Iraq does or doesn't have weapons of mass destruction, one thing they do have are oil wells. Is that what it's all about tonight on 60 Minutes? 2nd down 3 at the 31. Manning stepping up, dumps it off. And it's caught. Mungro back in the game as well as Darren Hambrick drops him after a 2-yard pickup. And this no huddle causing this Cleveland team some problems, Brent.
Well, I think really the biggest thing, Gus, I think that the Colts have been a little bit more aggressive at the offensive line position. You don't see the penetration from the Browns defensive front here in the second half. They were all over them in the first half. Colts couldn't get anything going.
3rd down and 1. Here's Mungro, breaks it back, picks up the 1st down, diving forward to the 25. And Earl Little with the tackle after a gain of 4.
And Gus, if you're looking for the differences in the halves, of course, we had Marcus talk to Coach Dungy talking about those third down conversions here in the first half. And in the second half, of course, Peyton's audible to some great calls. Of course, the 4th and 1 touchdown to Mungro, but now we've seen Mungro pick up a few crucial first downs, and that's really been the difference. You keep those chains moving, allows your big play players to get involved, gives them more opportunities.
First down and 10. Play clock winding down to 5. Manning, pump fake, looking in the corner for Harrison. Beautiful touchdown. Unbelievable. Peyton Manning putting that ball in the only place, and Marvin Harrison hauls it in, and all of a sudden Indianapolis is right back in this game.
And Gus, this is a matchup that Peyton Manning told us he would love to have, and you see the pump fake right there. He didn't think he'd get one-on-one Marvin Harrison against Anthony Henry, and you see Marvin doing a great job of getting that second foot down. He didn't think he'd get it, and Marvin Harrison usually 99% of the time lines up on the right side of the field, went to the left that time and got the single coverage.
Extra point is up and good, and that was the 56th touchdown between Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison, the most active touchdown duo in the National Football League. And this young man is going to be heading for the Hall of Fame. Canton, Ohio, not far from where we are right now. What an unbelievable career. Only his 7th season from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
And what a great job of recognizing that coverage by Peyton Manning. They've brought Marvin Harrison over to the left side a few times today, but they've always had a safety over the top, a double coverage type of situation. That time Anthony Henry singled up Peyton Manning, going over 20,000 yards. You talk about some significant achievements, and you were talking about Marvin Harrison. How about this man? And what an impressive guy Peyton Manning is, both on and off the field. You want us to say what a sharp dresser he was.
Yeah, he did. He did look kind of collegiate yesterday.
He looks good. Come on, give him a little bit more credit than collegiate.
All right. He had his Brooks Brothers suit on. As you take a look, Peyton Manning, second fastest man to throw for over 20,000 yards. Our Dan Marino, numero uno. And I'd love to be able to sit down and talk to a Dan Marino and just get his take on a guy like Peyton Manning. Also Boomer Esiason, 2 great quarterbacks who fortunately are on our team at CBS.
I think we could wipe out any team in a game, any other network.
Not enough balls. Too many QBs. Here's a fake reverse. Davis running, and he gets over the 30, up to the 34, a 25-yard return. Now Thursday on CBS, it's the Survivor season finale for Castaways. 3 tribal councils, 2 intense hours, 1 ultimate survivor. Who will convince the people they kicked off to give them $1 million? The Survivor season finale Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. So in the second half for the Browns, they've had 2 second half possessions, 2 3-and-outs. First down and 10 at the 34. Here's Couch setting up in the pocket under pressure. Incomplete and a flag. Brian Ligib called for pass interference.
And Ligib saw that ball floating up there. It looked like he was trying to break.
Defense, number 40. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
And he made a good initial reaction to that ball in the air, but he just ran through Kevin Johnson's back instead of going for the ball. And we've got ourselves a game right here. And of course the Browns, we talked about them getting too conservative, not throwing the ball down the field, 3-4-yard passes, much more aggressive in the first half of the play calling.
William Green with a hole, and Green trying to pop that one for a long run. But it's a pickup of 5. Clifton Crosby with a nice shoestring tackle.
And that was a very nice tackle. And watch big number 72 getting outside. Ryan Tucker getting a big block, opening up that hole. Here he is, allowing that running back, William Green, to get through there. That was a heck of a tackle by Crosby. because William Green is off to the races. He has some afterburners.
18 carries, 54 yards for the rookie. 2nd and 5 at the 45. Green again. And Green carrying white jerseys on his back. Leans forward to the Colts 40. Larry Triplett making the tackle.
When the Browns did such a great job in the first half of mixing it up, run, pass, aggressive pass down the field, like they came out throwing the ball down the field. Of course, here in the second half, a little bit more conservative. You have a 16-point lead, and when you're playing the Colts, that can evaporate very quickly, and that's what Butch Davis is saying. Hey, let's go, guys. Big 3rd and 1. We've got to convert right here. Big play.
They need a yard. Here comes the blitz, and Tim Couch sneaks it forward. 1st down, Cleveland.
When we've seen Tim Couch on a couple important quarterback sneaks today, and you've got to give, when they have a quarterback sneak it like that, you got to give credit to the center, Dave Olaball, and the guards, Sean O'Hara, Barry Stokes. They're creating some movement in there that allows Tim Couch to get a yard, yard and a half, just leaning forward.
And the Browns must come out of this drive with some points.
I think so. I think that the momentum swung completely to Indianapolis, and you can tell because it's been so darn quiet here in the second half. The fans are just closed-lipped.
Indianapolis showing blitz. Couch on the play action fake, and he's chopped down. Dwight Freeney, the rookie, with the sack. 2nd sack of the day for Indy.
When Dwight Freeney is just so explosive. You see him come out almost before the snap, and Ross Verba trying to just get his arm behind him and almost tackle him. Look at that explosion right there, and Verba, hey, I got to get this guy down, and not only does he tackle him, Freeney still comes up with the sack.
Freeney picks up his 2nd sack of the day, has 10 sacks on the season. 2nd and 18 at the 48. Couch to the sideline, almost intercepted. Whoa! Clifton Crosby had a beat on the football.
You see that ball going outside. Clifton Crosby once again getting a good break on the ball. We saw him make that nice tackle here just a few plays ago on William Green. And Cliff Crosby make a little bit of a name for himself out there. A couple nice plays.
3rd-year man out of Maryland. 3rd down and 18. Browns need to go to the Indianapolis 30 for 1st down. Here's Couch firing underneath, and it's caught at the 35, but he's 5 yards short of the 1st down. And that takes us to the end of the 3rd quarter with the score 16-14 Browns. We'll be back to Cleveland after this message and a word from your local station for it. On 4th down and 5 at the Indianapolis 35. Jamel White lines up in the backfield. He is great catching the ball out of the backfield. Here's Couch looking up for White. He's got him at the 10. White inside the 5.
And Gus, what a call by you. Watch Jamel White come out of the backfield one-on-one against Mike Peterson. Huge mismatch. The speed of that running back downfield against a linebacker. And Tim Couch, you talk about a guy that's made some big throws today. And what a gutsy call on 4th down by Butch Davis.
A 33-yard gain. And the Browns are knocking on the door once again. 1st down goal at the 2. And a flag on the play.
Boy, what a call that was.
What a great call.
Before the ball was snapped, timeout. Indianapolis, that's their 1st.
Tim Couch and the Browns pulling out all the stops. Back to Cleveland after this. 16-14 Cleveland. They have it 1st down and goal at the 2. Green popping it outside. Touchdown Browns.
And
20 carries, 60 yards, and his first touchdown of the game.
And what an important drive for this Cleveland Browns team that answered the Colts 14 points. And you see Tim Couch just raises his hands, touchdown, right after he hands it off because he sees nobody outside. William Green, great speed to the outside, nobody even close.
Fourth rushing touchdown of the season. Extra point is up and good. So here we go, 14:28 to go in the fourth. Butch Davis and the Browns keep rolling. Come back to Cleveland, 14:28 to play here in the fourth quarter. 23-14 as you take a look at the scoring drive and the big play on the 8-play drive. On 4th and 5, Tim Couch hitting White for a 33-yard reception.
And we've seen all the offensive young stars of this Cleveland Browns team step up today. Jamel White, William Green, Quincy Morgan, Kevin Johnson, and of course quarterback Tim Couch. They have all come to play. And Butch Davis told us, hey, it's playoff time, no more whining, just shut up and play. Just play like you're capable of playing.
Browns send it away. Walters with a lane, and Walters is knocked down at the 43 after a 27-yard return, and he is out. Troy Walters got leveled. Michael Jamison just drilled him. Wow. Here's another look.
And Troy Walters getting some good yardage upside, inside, and you see him just taking that shot, helmet to helmet. Wow.
So Walters on the ground. We'll be back to Cleveland right after this. He's walked off on his own, but he's still a little woozy on the sideline. Indianapolis takes over at their own 43, first down. Play action, Manning. Marcus Pollard with the catch down at the Cleveland 35. And Pollard gets up wobbly after a gain of 22.
And we've seen Marcus Pollard second time getting some big plays down the middle. You see the coverage inside by the linebackers, opening up that middle of the field, and that's a great mismatch that the Colts need to take more advantage of. We've seen it 2 times today.
Pollard remains in the game, 1st and 10. Mungro picks up 2.
And Gus, I know it wasn't a touchdown, but let's go to what I think is the play of the game thus far. Jamel White coming out of the backfield on the go route. Now watch Mike Peterson, the linebacker, who's got a check blitz on him right here. If White is going to block, Peterson's going to blitz, but he actually takes those blitz steps, and he realizes, uh-oh, Jamel White's in the route. Puts him 3 steps behind. Tim Couch on the money. Biggest play of the game thus far.
2nd down and 8. Here's Manning to the sideline. Ismael turns it up and is wrapped up at the 29. Earl Holmes delivering a lick after a gain of 4.
Boy, but what a difference in this second half, this Colts offense, and they really got some confidence. And I think
what major adjustment have they made?
You know what? It seems like they've just started throwing the ball downfield. They've had Mungro, of course, that Peyton Manning call on 4th down. Then we've seen Marcus Pollard in the mix as well.
And also, that little swing route to the receiver, to the tailback, out of the backfield has helped them as well.
James Mungro making some things happen. You're right. But that call on 4th down really changed the mentality of this Colts offense.
3rd down and 4. Here's Manning. Over the middle, Joe Dean Davenport all alone. 1st down, Indianapolis at the Cleveland 7.
Now, we talked in the first quarter about Marcus Pollard going down the middle of the field and what that'll do. It'll focus the attention on him and the safeties and everything else. But Joe Dean Davenport, nobody's even covering him. Everybody's watching Marcus Pollard, who stayed in the block. Safeties went. They see Pollard's in. Hey, we're going to go out over the top, cover the receivers. Joe Dean getting down the middle of the field all alone.
Only his 7th catch of the season for 22 yards. 1st and goal at the 7. Manning looking in the corner. Oh! Incomplete. Harrison had it but was unable to hold on.
Boy, and he was doing his Chris Carter imitation right there, the old one-hander drawed back in, and we talked about that matchup against Anthony Henry. Single coverage, Peyton Manning said that we'll take that every time, going right back to Marvin Harrison. You see him have it for a second, and Henry does a nice job of getting his hands on him, and Marvin Harrison into the stands, whacking his head a little bit.
Second down goal at the 7.
Watch Qadri Ismail right here, Gus.
Here's Manning. Ismail! Holy mackerel, he dropped it.
Wow.
How did you know?
Because they weren't being too shy. Qadri Ismail got up to line and pointed at Anthony Henry like, I got this guy. Peyton Manning nodded to him. You see his eyes going there the whole way. Manning said he liked that matchup, and Anthony Henry doing a great job on coverage today. Just got beat once by Harrison, but Qadri Ismail needed that catch, needed that touchdown. Of course, Marvin Harrison dropped one on Peyton Manning last week that was crucial at this point in the game. Qadri Ismail wishes he could have that one back.
Third down goal at the 7. And they're on their feet here in Cleveland. Manning taken down, but a flag on the play.
And I think Gerard Warren might be offsides. I think he tried to beat the snap count, and unless the Browns get lucky and someone from the Colts move, that is a huge penalty at this point.
Offside, defense, number 94. After distance to the goal, still third down.
Boy, you have got to use your head in these situations. Gerard Warren, very aggressive, had some success today looking for that sack, trying to time that snap count, but nobody changes up their snap count more than Peyton Manning. You can't guess on him. Puts the ball down to the 3.5.
Third down and goal.
You know, Peyton won't hesitate to call on Mungro right here.
Now he checks off. Play action over the middle, wide open touchdown. Marvin Harrison. What an unbelievable football mind for that young man, Peyton Manning.
Boy, and what a great fake that was. But you get Earl Little, the safety, matched up against Marvin Harrison man-to-man. It is all over. Marvin Harrison in tight, fake, play action. Earl Little, the safety. And I don't know how the Browns have a safety on Marvin Harrison at this point. That is a huge mistake.
Marvin Harrison with 8 catches for 126 yards, 2 touchdowns. And what a game here in Cleveland. 11:30 to go, 23-21. Whenever the Goodyear blimp is hovering above a game with its camera focused on an event, you know you're going to get a unique view. Overhead today is the blimp Spirit of Goodyear, based just a few miles south of Cleveland near Akron, Ohio. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones with you, and our entire CBS crew from Cleveland Browns Stadium, where the Browns lead the Colts 23-21. Cleveland at one time led 16-0, but it's been a tale of 2 halves for this Indianapolis team, scoring all of their points in the second half of play. Andre Davis needs a good one. And Davis hurdling, he gets to the 33, but a nice special teams tackle by Cliff Crosby. Here's another look at the touchdown.
And you want to know what play action does? Watch the fake by Peyton Manning to Mungro right here, and then watch Earl Little's reaction. They're in zone defense. Here's Marvin Harrison. Now, there's a lot of circles. This is the receiver. The safety, Earl Little's got to go ahead and stay back, but watch him bite on that play action, and there's nobody covering Marvin Harrison all alone. What a great play fake by Peyton Manning, and the safety bit on it big time.
And Peyton Manning audible to that play at the line of scrimmage. Here's Couch now, looking down the field as it's stripped. And the Browns recover.
And Chad Bratsky, what a savvy veteran and great pass rusher for this Colts defense. He didn't even think about going for the sack. He went right for the ball. Went right after it and slaps it, coming from the outside right here. Watch inside. Goes, sees that ball up. Bang, give me that ball. Just take it right out of Tim Couch's hands. And once again, the Browns get a break on the bounce of the ball. It's happened a few times for him today.
A loss of 7, second down and 17. Here's William Green. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and picks up a couple as well. A flag on the play. A late flag.
Well, it's one of two things. It's either a hold against the Browns or a face mask against the Colts, and I'm thinking it's a hold, and that's exactly what we got.
Holding. Offense, number 81. 10-yard penalty, repeat second down.
Quincy Morgan.
And you were talking to Quincy Morgan about what a great blocker he's been this year and been singled out more than a few times, and he told us, hey, I am more into blocking now that William Green is making some big plays happen downfield. And you see him right here, top of the screen. And let's see Quincy. Done a nice job. Nice. Let go, Quincy. Ah, come on. That's a good block. Guy's falling down. He let him go. Hands inside. Now, you don't want ticky-tack calls in the fourth quarter of what is a playoff atmosphere game.
Second down, 19. Couch. Hit as he releases the football. Incomplete. Morgan, the closest man to the ball, and that will bring up a third down and 19 at the 23. They need to go to the 42 for first down.
Boy, and the Colts defensive front starting to get some pressure. We're seeing Bradsky-Ole and Chad Bradsky, and of course Dwight Freeney today, who had really been the only guy that had gotten some significant pressure back there in Tim Couch's face. But boy, a couple of great pass rushes here in this drive.
And here's a draw play, White, and he is brought down at the 32, so the Browns have to punt it away. And here come the boos, cascading.
You know what? You can't boo on 3rd and 17 because that's a dangerous place to throw the ball. You don't want to turn it over. Hey, get your punter in here, play the field position game. That's what you got to do. Of course, that ball falling on the ground by Tim Couch earlier, and then, of course, the holding penalty. You don't want to take chances in this situation.
So Gardocki sends it away. A new punt returner, Joe Walker, backup defensive back from the 22, and a flag on the play.
And a big block in the back, and that's just dumb football at that point. David Thornton, the linebacker, covering on special teams downfield right in front of the receiver, catching the ball and in front of the official. And when all the fans see it and start yelling for the block in the back, you know it's obvious. There's sometimes, Gus, you just got to pull off. Even if your man makes a tackle, it's a terrible feeling, of course, being a former special teamer.
Block in the back by the receiving team, number 50. 10-yard penalty enforced from the end of the run.
And watch the left side of your screen. He's going to come right into it. Right there, the push, right in the back. Right as the defender's about to make the tackle. And there's sometimes you can get away with that. And David knows that's just not smart football at this point in the game. And what a big break for the Browns. Back those Colts up. And one thing we know about doing Browns games, Gus, there's a good chance it's going to come down to the end of the game.
The cardiac Browns, they wouldn't have it any other way. The fans on their feet in the end zone. The Colts have it at the 14. Manning sets up a screen. Mungro with the grab. And Mungro is taken down at the 20. And a loose ball recovered by the Colts.
Boy, and that ball came out, and I think it was Saturday on top of somebody, and the Colts got a break right there. Jeff Saturday, Johnny on the spot.
Now coming up on the Subway postgame show, join Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer for all the scores and highlights. Coming up on the Subway postgame show. Second down, 3 at the 21.
And the Browns, Gus, still haven't covered Marcus Pollard down the middle of the field.
Brown showing blitz. Here's Mungro sprinting, still running, breaks it down the sideline, and Mungro out of bounds at the 44. Earl Little with the tackle, but Qadri Ismail delivers a beautiful block.
And Roch right here, Roch at the beginning, actually outside. There's Marcus Pollard. He's going to make a big block, and then Ismail's going to come in from the top right up here and seal inside. Mungro breaks a tackle, and that's about effort downfield. Those two guys making big blocks, giving James Mungro an extra 20 yards to run.
23-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 44. Here's Manning. Over the middle, caught. Harrison with the lane. Marvin Harrison still on his feet, down the sideline, tiptoes out of bounds at the 10. Marvin Harrison with the afterburners, a gain of 46.
And look at the signal outside. Watch Marvin Harrison. Hey, Peyton. He's holding up a couple fingers, giving him the sign. Hey, I've got a route on that deep cross route. Peyton stays with it, sees him over the middle of the coverage. Soft middle of the field for the Cleveland Browns, and Marvin Harrison right down the sideline. And what unbelievable communication between Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning.
Harrison, 8 catches, 126 yards. First down and goal at the 10. Here's Ricky Williams now, still running. And Ricky powering forward, and he is stopped at the 7.
Boy, it sure seemed like in the first half we saw a much more aggressive Cleveland Brown defense. We saw Robert Griffith coming on some blitz, much more pressure, much more aggressive style of play. Coach Davis's defense this year, or this half, actually seeming like they're a little bit softer, a little bit less aggressive. And Ricky Williams is coming off the field limping.
Second down goal. Here's Manning again, changing the play. 3 on the clock. Mungro straight ahead. And Mungro gets to the 2.
And how about Peyton Manning calling those plays?
Wow.
I mean, he's the closest thing to a throwback quarterback in the old days, guys that called their own plays. Peyton Manning usually with 3 plays to choose from, and he can change them, any of them at the line of scrimmage. And the communication level is so much superior to any other team in the league. It's amazing that they can actually run this offense.
The Colts have never led. They were down 16-0 at the end of the first half, faced with a third down goal at the 3. Mungro again, and Indianapolis takes its first lead of the game. James Mungro, his second rushing touchdown.
Boy, and how about Peyton Manning going to the run on third down? That's patience and it's confidence in your offensive line. And we've seen that a couple times today now. Audibling out, going to the run in a crucial situation. And the Colts continue this offensive juggernaut here in the second half.
Extra point is up and good. So with 6:46 to go in the fourth quarter, the Colts take a 28-23 lead after being down 16-0. And another look at the Mungro touchdown.
When Peyton Manning audibling to the run, and look at the surge on the right side of the line, allowing Mungro to just roll right in there untouched.
And Coach Tony Dungy, a man of few words and few expressions, he'll take it. James Mungro, a nice piece of running, substituting for Edgerrin James today. A look at the leading rushers. Mungro with 74 yards rushing.
Boy, Mungro making some big yards, Gus, on third down, and of course that big fourth down touchdown run. And Tony Dungy told Marcus Allen coming out the field in the second half, hey, the first half we didn't make it happen on third down. We have got to change that here in the second half. And that's really the difference, I think, in this Colts team. They've really gone after it and focused on third down. You see that line surge, and you've talked, Gus, all along about the playoff atmosphere of this game. That is exactly what it is, because whichever team loses is really going to be disadvantaged, definitely on the outside looking in this playoff race.
Is it safe to say that whoever loses is pretty much done?
I don't say, the way things have gone, nobody's pretty much done, but it's a clear disadvantage at this point. Tiebreaker in the wild card, Browns. They need to win the division.
And Davis is stopped at the 23. So here comes Tim Couch. He has his work cut out for him. Marvin Harrison has put on a show along with his buddy Peyton Manning. This half, they've accounted rather for 212 yards. Peyton Manning has. Different story for Couch, only 51 yards passing in the half.
Peyton Manning told us coming into the game, hey, we're going to need to run the ball at certain points of this game. And, boy, a lot of the crucial time, they sure have.
First down and 10 at the 25. Play action, Couch setting up, has a wide open receiver. Kevin Johnson makes the catch, but he threw that ball behind him. If he leads Kevin Johnson there, he has room to run. Wednesday on the finale of the Amazing Race, they've raced around the world. Now the final 3 Amazing Race teams are headed back to America for the $1 million prize. Don't miss an extraordinary 2-hour season finale of the truly Amazing Race Wednesday at 9/8 Central on CBS, America's most watched network. First down and 10 for Couch and the Browns at their own 36. Here's the pitch to Green. William Green trying to allow his blocks to set up, nothing doing. Great pursuit by the Colts defense. Nick Harper leading the way.
When I think a big part of this series right here, and you see the toss outside, I still think it's going to come down to how much time this offensive line for the Browns gives Tim Couch. When Tim's had time to throw today, he's made some big throws. The receivers have made some big plays for him, and there's Bruce Arians saying, hey, we've got to hold up. And last series, you saw the Colts get some serious pressure in Couch's face. That's what they want to do. Watch Bradsky and Freeney. They're the guys bringing it from the corners.
Second down 9 at the 37. Here's Couch, quick strike. Ball is caught. Mark Campbell gets to the 42. It's a gain of 5. And it will bring up third down at about 4. Each team with a couple of timeouts remaining. Under 5 to play. Tony Dungy's team righted its ship at halftime. Third down 4. They're 4 of 13 on third down conversions. Here's Couch. Dumps it off. It is caught. Davis trying to lean forward, but he will be short of the first down. And Cleveland wants to punt. The fans aren't happy.
Yeah, I don't know about that. The way this defense is played in this second half, they look tired. They're not as aggressive. And I think this is 4-down territory, Gus. 4 minutes left in the game, and you're punting it away, and you're saying, I'm putting the whole season on our defense's shoulders, and the way they played here in the second half, I don't think that's the call.
So they send it away. Walker at the 10, and he's taken down at the 13. A 48-yard punt and a 5-yard return. So the Colts have been putting it on the board. First Mungro, all coming in the second half. They were scoreless in the first. And after Mungro, it was the great one, Marvin Harrison. Marvin again, and then Mungro again. 4 second half touchdowns for Indy.
And then you're going to go ahead and put it all on your defense's shoulders, and that's a lot of confidence by Butch Davis and his defense. Because if these guys don't stop the Colts here, it could be good night, not only for this game, but for the season. I don't know. I still think about going for it on fourth down.
First down and 10 at the 14. Here's Mungro. Nicely done by the Cleveland defense. He gains maybe a yard. Follow the playoff race through the end of the season with our exclusive projected season brackets on all of the playoff scenarios. Just click on the playoff race at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. Second down 9 at the 15. Butch Davis gambling, electing to show confidence in his defense and not panic.
But his defense has to be tired. 4 touchdowns in the second half, long drive.
Well, you have to give the coach the benefit of the doubt. And that he knows his team will rise to the occasion. We'll see. Second and 9. And this time Earl Holmes drops Mungro. And that will bring up third down and 9. The timeout called by the Browns.
And if you're a Browns fan or Butch Davis, On the other hand, that's exactly what you want to see. The Colts just trying to pound it up inside between the guards and the run. And, you know, you can't be too conservative in these situations. You got to go out and grab the win, grab the first down. I don't like running the ball inside on first and second down. Now it's 3rd and 9. You got to make a play, incomplete, clock stops, you get the ball back.
All right, let's take a look at the playoff picture. Huge blow to the New York Jets today. They lose to Chicago on the road. Miami wins, so it's Oakland, Tennessee, Miami, Pittsburgh. The division leaders in the AFC, Indianapolis, San Diego, are the wild card teams as we speak. New England will play Tennessee. 3rd down, 9 at the 15. Biggest play of the season for the Cleveland defense. They need to go to the 24 for a first down.
Watch the blitz coming from the bottom side of your screen.
They hand it off, and Monroe taken down at the 12. So Butch Davis says, yes, I believe in my defense, and the defense pays off. Tim Couch and company will get another opportunity with 3 minutes to go.
Now, the Colts have been just gashing the Browns defense in the second half with the pass. Peyton Manning standing in the pocket, putting the ball on the money, and they're going to run it 3 times into the heart of the Cleveland Browns defense. 2 first downs, Gus, and you're going to win.
Tonight on 60 Minutes, whether Iraq does or doesn't have weapons of mass destruction, one thing they do have are oil wells. Is that what it's all about tonight on 60 Minutes? Then it's 60 Minutes of comedy with Becker, Yes Dear, followed by the CBS Sunday movie, The Man Who Saved Christmas, starring Jason Alexander. It's all here tonight on CBS, America's most watched network.
Boy, what a break the Browns got right there by the play calling of the Colts. I don't know why you'd get so conservative at this point.
Hunter Smith, 3 yards in his own end zone. Andre Davis stands at his 40. Browns will get good field position. And a flag on the play. Davis running. Holy mackerel. Running into the punter. And that could be the season for the Browns right there.
And I think it's going to be a hold, and that's what it was. It looked like it was running into the kicker, but actually there was a hold, and actually the player was tossed into the kicker, grabbed and thrown.
Holding, offense, number 48. That penalty is declined. There was no running into the kicker on the play because the foul caused the player to knock the kicker down.
Justin Snow called for the hold.
And you see the grab right inside and just thrown right there. And he throws Cedric Scott right into the kicker. You see Hunter Smith go down, and everybody immediately thought, uh-oh, roughing the kicker. Of course, the Browns get another break, and there's Butch Davis saying, hey, it's now or never.
Tim Couch has 9 career fourth-quarter comebacks, including last week versus Jacksonville, when he threw the Hail Mary at the end of the game. First down and 10 at the Indianapolis 48, over the middle, incomplete. Couch throwing that one behind Quincy Morgan. David Macklin covering.
Boy, and I think we saw Quincy Morgan right there. Gus, go ahead and run that deep slant. Those safeties are coming right out of the middle. This is the time for a slant go. A little pump fake a la Peyton Manning. Maybe Tim Couch can dip into the Peyton Manning playbook and try one of those. These safeties for the Colts being very aggressive.
They're calling them the Cardiac Kids 2, 2nd and 10 at the 48. No timeouts for the Browns. Here's Couch. Underneath, incomplete. Andre Davis just couldn't hold on.
Boy, and he's lucky he didn't hold on, because that could have been a fumble had he had possession and 2 feet down. Never had that one come in. And big 3rd down here coming up for the Browns. And one of their good mismatches that they've used today, Jamel White against the linebacker coming out of the backfield. Maybe even just split him out or motion him out and say, hey, see if we can get that mismatch once again.
3rd down, 10 at the 48. Obviously, it's 4-down territory for the Browns. They're 4 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. White lines up as a wide receiver. Underneath, he makes the grab. Flags on the play. And he gets to the 41. A gain of 7. And this will go against Cleveland.
And you have to actually be set for a second. I think Andre King came into that backfield, and Jamel White might have went out in motion, and two guys moving at the same time.
Illegal shift, offense. Two backs were moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty, repeat third down.
And that's not what you want on 3rd and 10. Be staring at 3rd and 15. And one of the things the Browns have to do right here is they have to throw the ball down the field. None of this throw it 8 yards short of the first down marker and hope your guy gets enough. You got to at least get 10 right here. That's what you want. Not a 2-yard route. Get that deep middle, Gus.
3rd and 15 at the 47. Here's Couch down the field, caught. Kevin Johnson. It looks like he has enough for a first down.
And Gus, I actually think he's going to be a yard short. But we talked about that deep middle.
And you're right, he's not a yard short. He's about an inch short. He's going for it now. 4th down. Here's the handoff. White with the first down and more. At the 31. A gain of 8.
Boy, and that was an aggressive call without huddling up. Just get up. And, of course, the Browns, no timeouts left, but they could have waited till the 2-minute warning that we have now.
2 minutes to go, and the pressure is on. These fans are revved up. The Browns need a score. Here's Couch out of the shotgun to the sideline. Nice throw. Beautiful catch. Quincy Morgan out of bounds at the 25.
Boy, and Tim Couch has time to set his feet and throw the ball. And we haven't seen as much pressure from the Colts this drive, and that's really been instrumental. Tim Couch having time to stay in there and make some plays downfield. Maybe it's time to come with the blitz, or maybe you just get a stunt in there going something. You have to change it up, get in his face.
2nd down, 5 at the 26. Here's Couch. Drops it off to White. Out of the backfield. Gets inside the 20 to the 18. Picks up 8 yards.
You got 1:43 left now. No time to panic. You got time. Go ahead, set up, huddle, let the guys know. Hey, you're going to either score a touchdown or it's going to be it pretty much for the season. You don't want to give the Colts the ball back with too much time.
Here's Couch pumping, looking in the end zone. Kevin Johnson. Pass interference will be called. Kevin Johnson with the double move again, and Walt Harris bit on it and could do nothing more than grab it.
And what Kevin Johnson does such a great job of, Gus.
Pass interference, defense, number 21. The ball is placed at the spot of the foul. First down.
To do a great job on double moves, you got to use your head and shoulders. Watch Kevin Johnson coming out, little out and up, that same thing that we got Walt Harris on earlier. Walt Harris just grabs him outside, and that's exactly what you got to do. Some guy's going to go right by you. You might as well take the penalty instead of the touchdown.
1st down and goal at the 10. Play action in the end zone, incomplete. That one thrown high. Intended for Andre Davis. Couch throwing it in double coverage.
Yeah, that's a throw that Tim Couch doesn't want to make right there. Lucky it was high, right into double coverage. Of course, trying to sneak Andre Davis in there. Everybody else has come up with some big plays today. He's thinking maybe the Colts will forget about Andre Davis. But it's got to be Quincy Morgan or Kevin Johnson time if you're going outside, or Jamel White. We've seen him make some great moves and get him out on that flare out toward the sideline.
2nd down goal at the 10. Empty backfield. White in motion. Here's Couch. Steps up. Couch down at the 5. And the clock continues to run. 1:08 and counting.
And if I'm the Browns, I huddle up. You don't need to go on the line of scrimmage. Huddle up.
No timeouts
Don't panic. And that's exactly what Tim Couch is doing. The guys got to the line initially, and he took a little shot there. You wondered if he's got his wits about him. 2 chances, Gus, to score a touchdown from the 5.
Wow. 3rd down goal at the 5. Couch out of the shotgun. Here's Couch looking. Fires. Patted down. What a play.
I think that was Josh Williams. How about Josh Williams, number
96.
96, dropping back in pass coverage. You see right here, little zone blitz. Look, he gets his head around. He bats the ball down. He might save a touchdown. That could be the season for the Colts.
So here it is. Josh Williams batting it down. 4th down and goal at the 5. And a timeout has been called by Indianapolis. They have 1 remaining. Butch Davis huddles his troops up on the sideline. So here's my question to you, Brent. On 4th down and goal at the 5, what do you want to run down here?
Well, I think you want to create your biggest mismatch. It's either Quincy Morgan jumping up.
(28-23), Indianapolis with the lead. Time running out, 37 seconds. Gus Johnson, Brent Jones. The Browns led 16-0 at one time. Indianapolis failing to score in the first half, but they've rallied. But Butch Davis, his team, with the ball at the 5-yard line of the Colts. And it's do or die, 4th down. And goal at the 5.
You want to create your biggest mismatch. That's either Quincy Morgan outside or Jamel White from the running back position.
Remember, Couch can run. Here's Couch looking in the end zone. Incomplete. .32 seconds remaining. Tim Couch and the Cleveland Browns may have just seen their season go away.
When Tim Couch having all day to come up with the receiver, you got to credit the defensive backs for the Indianapolis Colts. You see him stand in there. Boy, and they're 2 guys in the same zone. Both Kevin Johnson and Andre Davis. And it just goes through the hands of Andre Davis, and that could be it for the playoff hopes of these Cleveland Browns. And might have just come up 5 yards short.
Browns cannot stop the clock. Tony Dungy, he righted the ship in the second half. His team, a horrendous performance in the first half of play. Totally different scenario in the second half as he shakes Coach Davis's hands. A dejected Butch Davis walks off the field, a golden opportunity just oozing through the fingers of the Browns. 28-23, the final. Indianapolis with the win. For Brent Jones, I'm Gus Johnson saying so long from Cleveland, where the final 28-23. Coming up next, it's the Subway postgame show. The Colts, they win it. You've been watching the NFL.
Peyton Manning, former #1 draft picks. Yo, dog, I was #1 in 98. I was #1 in 99. First quarter, first play of the game, Tim Couch to Quincy Morgan. That's the first play of the game. You know, the last play of the last game, it was Tim Couch to Quincy Morgan for the Hail Mary. Morgan, after Jason Doring missed a tackle, 78-yard touchdown, 6-zip Browns. Third quarter, Marvin Harrison, Tom, lined up on the right. Marvin is straight off the hook. A little bit of history right there. 124th catch of the year. Breaks Herman Moore's single-season record for reception. Next Colts drive, Harrison lined up left. Holla! 25-yard touchdown. Also first back-to-back 1,500-yard receiving seasons for a receiver. And then Manning to Harrison again, TJ. 3-yard touchdown.
Yeah, 25 yards right there. The 3-yard touchdown. Harrison doing good work down in the red zone.
And we got to go back to the beginning of this play. It's a 46-yard drive because Marv is like, yo, man, look who I got on me. I can beat him.
We have never seen a receiver wave his hand before the ball is snapped to let the quarterback know I'm already open. Good job on the crossing route. And then he blazes for 46 yards down the sideline.
Ball isn't snapped and I'm open. 9 catches, the buck 72 for Marv. And then James Mungro. Peyton Manning in this game, second fastest QB to 20,000 yards. It's 28-23 Colts. Browns trying to come back. Couch incomplete to Andre Davis. 3rd and goal from the 5. Couch to Andre King. That one's batted down, Tommy. Last chance, 4th and 5. What do we have, Tommy?
Gotta knock the ball down. Couch gonna be back, gonna try to pass the ball into the end zone. First thing you want to do is get the ball out of your hands. That's good coverage, though. That's good coverage by the Colts.
Browns almost came back and won another one late, but the Colts win this game 28-23. Peyton Manning, 277 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Edgerrin James, 10 carries, 42 yards. He left. That's why Mungro came in. 14 carries, 75 yards for James. Mungro, after the game, Peyton Manning said the victory had tasted sweet.
This was it. This is like a playoff game for both teams. I mean, you lose this one, you're looking uphill big time, probably out of it. So we knew we had to have this one. And like I said, it didn't look great for a while, but we fought to the end. It's one of the biggest wins we've ever had.
TJ, we mentioned Marvin Harrison. I mean, look at these numbers. It's a record. 127, 1,566. But here's the thing. Herman did his 123 in a 16-game season. Marv has done this in 14 games. So we're at 127.
Yeah, 2 games
and
to
counting.
go. 2 games to go.
Edgerrin James led the NFL in rushing his first 2 years in the league. But ever since he got hurt last year, it seems like the Colts don't do quite as well as a team with him in the lineup. I mean, Mungro's not as good as James, is he?
Yeah. Well, I think when James is healthy, he is one of the premier rushers in this league, and I know that the Colts have been waiting for him to get that burst, whatever that intangible is that separates him from the rest of the backs in this league. But I think when they play now and you see James Mungro come in, the offense tends to pick up. Their play-action pass game works better. He's very effective inside the red zone. And then today they did something unique with Marvin Harrison. They moved him over to the left side, which they almost never do. They did that because of the coverage. They were rotating the coverage right to him. He moved over to the left side, got the one-on-one coverage, and got hit down the field.
Can we do Marv again? Yo, Coach, I got a DB on me.
Yeah,
I'm open,
I'm
man.
open.
And he lives on junk food. That's what Marvin Harrison lives on. Last week, the Panthers lived off of the Bengals. This week, Carolina, after a team record 50.